Hello, this is Miss Pat from Samuel's Public Library. This week in Science Scouts, we're going to continue to learn about space. Specifically, we're going to find out what our planet, the Earth, is in space, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Earth. Okay, it is the third planet from the sun. It is the one that we live on. And we're going to talk about, our story today is going to be, This is How We Do It, One Day in the Lives of 7 Kids from Around the World by Matt Lamothe. Okay, we're going to find out about other people on our planet, right? And how they live. How are we the same? How are we different? So Matt, our author, he lives in the United States like we do. He lives in North America, but he's going to be writing about all these people, and they're going to be from different continents, which we're going to learn about today. Okay. So this one shows you Matt. He's from North America. And then these were the ones from our side of the Earth, as opposed to the other side. Let's find out about these guys. Okay. This one is from Italy. He says, my name is Romeo. Japan, my name is Kai. Peru, my name is Ribaldo. Uganda, my name is Daphne. Russia, my name is Oleg. India, my name is Ananya. In Iran, my name is Kian. It says, this is me. So a bunch of kids. This is where I live. Okay, these are houses in Russia, Uganda, Italy, Peru, Japan, Iran, and India. You've probably seen houses like this. This is who I live with. And even though they're from all over the world, they have brothers and sisters and moms and dads and grandparents, just like we do. This is what I wear to school. Okay, this is Italy, Japan, Iran, Peru, Russia, India, and Uganda. Their clothes aren't much different than ours, right? Especially the one in Italy, because I know I've seen a lot of dinosaur shirts. This is what I eat for breakfast. Right? In Iran, they eat bread, eggs, cheese, walnuts. Peru, they eat fried rice with chicken and peppers. Uganda, they have meat, bread, eggs, and milk. Italy, they have toast with Nutella, a cup of eggs mixed with sugar and milk. Russia, they have oats with milk and butter, cheese, bread, and apple juice. India, they have, looks like a pancake with tomatoes. And Japan, they're going to have soup, grilled fish, and an orange. This is how I go to school. In Japan, I walk by myself. Russia, I walk past apartment buildings and other things. Peru, I also walk. In Iran, our mom or dad drives us in the car. In Italy, I ride a school bus. In Uganda, I walk for a half hour. In India, my mom drives me and my friends through the busy streets. This is my teacher. Okay, and you can see some of them have blackboards, and some of them have whiteboards, and some of them have the computer stuff. And pretty much they all have a teacher like you guys do. This is how we learn. This is what the inside of their classrooms look like. In India, we study all subjects like math and Hindi and English. Hindi is their language. In Japan, we all wear white indoor slippers and we are in charge of cleaning our classroom every day. We study math, science, and Japanese. In Peru, our school is very small, so the 14 kids in the 5th and 6th grade study in the same room. We have different subjects each day, and our school ends at 1 o'clock. In Russia, I study 3 languages, Russian, English, and Bashkir. I am in the same classroom with the same kids and the same teacher for grades 1 through 4. Now, you guys change your classes, huh? In Uganda, I study at a private school far from home, so I have to stay with my grandma who has a house nearby. There are 69 boys and girls in my class, and we study math, reading, writing, and religion. In Iran, I go to an all-boys school. We study reading and writing in Farsi, math, science. So Farsi is their language. Italy, we do many activities outside the classroom. We visit parks and forests, go to the museums in other cities, and put on a musical at the end of the year. We have school from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the evening. This is how I spell my name. So they also have to learn how to write. And they do write a little bit differently than us, huh? This is what I eat for lunch. So their food might look a little bit different, but if you've been to different restaurants, it looks kind of the same, huh? You might have tried this stuff. This is how I play. And I know we play the same way, huh? Jump rope and hockey. And they're having a rock throwing contest at the mountains, not the buildings. And they're playing hanky thief, kind of like Red Rover, who stole my bone. They're playing freeze tag in Japan. So the hanky thief was in India. Iran, they go horseback riding. In Peru, they're playing soccer. This is how I help around my house. In India, I help with the laundry, put it on the clothesline. In Uganda, I sweep. In Italy, I feed the 4 cats. In Peru, I help in the cornfield. In Russia, I vacuum the floors. In Iran, I take care of my little brother. In Japan, I help cook dinner. I'm sure you guys all help in different ways too. This is how we eat dinner. Now, sometimes though, they don't all eat together. Mostly they eat on the weekends together. During the week, they all have different things to do, but the times are a little different. So in Iran, they eat around 9 o'clock at night. In Russia, they eat around 7 o'clock. In Italy, let's see where it says it, they eat around 8 o'clock. In Uganda, they eat at 10 o'clock at night. In Japan, they eat at 7. In India, they eat at 9 o'clock. And in Peru, they eat around 7. So sometimes we eat a little bit earlier. This is what I do in the evening. In Russia, I play chess. In India, I play board games. In Uganda, I relax with my family. In Iran, I watch cartoons on TV. In Italy, I work on model cars with my dad. In Peru, I help my brother with his homework. And in Japan, my mom and I read mystery books together. So some of what they do is the same, huh? This is where I sleep. Right, so Italy, they have their own room. Peru, they sleep on wooden blanks, sometimes next to their sibling. In Iran, they have their own room. In Japan, they might sleep on the floor, on the futon next to their sibling. In India, they sleep in a big bed next to their sister and parents. In Russia, they sleep in a bedroom with their younger brother. In Uganda, they sleep in a wooden bed under a mosquito net in a room that they share with their parents. And they have to use a mosquito net there, otherwise they're going to have a lot of mosquito bites at night when they wake up, in the morning when they wake up. This is my night sky. And this is what all those people look like without the drawings. Now remember, they came from different continents. Our author comes from the North America. All right, Ribaldo comes from Peru in South America. Daphne comes from Uganda in Africa. Romeo comes from Italy in Europe. Okay. Oleg comes from Russia, right there in Asia. Aniana comes from India, also in Asia. Kian comes from Iran, which is kind of what we call the Middle East. It's between Africa and Asia. And then there should be one more. Right? And Kai comes from Japan, and that's also in Asia. Asia is one of our biggest continents. Okay, so it may not be the biggest continent when we make it today, but we are going to make a globe. First, we're going to talk a little bit about planet is the third one from the sun. Right? Earth has 7 continents, which are land masses. Okay, 7 places that there are land on the planet. And it has 5 oceans. And if you look at this, right, so the green would be your continents and your land. That's where the people are going to live. The blue is all the oceans. And this is the moon going around our planet. Okay, it's the only planet in our solar system that has water and life on it. Almost 3/4 of the planet, not exactly, but almost 3/4 of the planet is covered in some type of water. Okay, it's either salt water like the oceans or fresh water like the rivers and lakes, or ice like Antarctica and the North Pole. Okay, and when I said almost 3/4, it's 71%, so not exactly 75. Now you need to remember the Earth is round, it's like a globe. When it's drawn flat for a map, you're going to see the Pacific Ocean listed twice. Okay, so think about it. If you cut the globe in half and put it out, you're cutting it right down the middle of the Pacific. So the Pacific is going to kind of show up on both sides. Right? It is the biggest ocean on our planet. The Arctic Ocean is towards the North Pole. The Southern Ocean is towards Antarctica. The Atlantic Ocean is where we, I don't want to say live by, but it's the closest ocean to where we are. Okay, because this is Florida right here, and this is North America. And we live on this coast. So it's about a 5-6 hour ride to the Atlantic Ocean, but we live nearer to the Atlantic Ocean than we do to the Pacific. That would be by California. Right? And here's the Indian Ocean between Africa, Asia, and Australia. Right? Now there's a variety of animals living on each of the 7 continents, but there are no plants or homes on Antarctica. Okay, there are on the other 6 continents. We just found out all about their homes, right? We found out about their homes. We found out about what kind of food they do there, but there's not a lot on Antarctica. People have made a working science station there, and people from all over the world, scientists from all over the world have come to Antarctica, which is this frozen white spot down here on the bottom, to study the continent and to study the animals that live there in that really, really cold area. Okay, now, we're going to talk about the equator. You might have heard about the equator. It is an invisible line that divides the Earth into north and south, right? Northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Now, around the equator, the amount of daytime and nighttime are about the same, all right? They're equal. It's 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. And the continents that are close to them, or the countries that are close to them, have 2 seasons. They're either wet or they're dry. Okay, it's really hot and dry, or hot and wet. Now the ocean water near the equator will be warmer than ocean water that's further away, right? That makes sense. The further you get away from the equator, the colder it's going to get. You're also going to have seasons the further away you move. Okay, so Florida winters are not as cold as what we have up here in Virginia, and we're not as cold as Canada or Alaska. Okay, so the further you go away, you're going to have different seasons. We have spring, summer, autumn, fall. Okay, but sometimes when you get to the North Pole or the South Pole, they only have a cold, dry winter. Okay, they can say it's summertime, but their summertime, it might only get as warm as 50 degrees. And for us, that's not summer. Okay, that would be more like spring and autumn. And it's always dry. This is so cold that none of the water or ice is evaporating. Therefore, it's not always snowing. It's just covered in snow and ice, but it's not really doing much more. Now I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways to make a globe, make your own. One of which will be to tie the yarn around the middle of a balloon, because you're all going to get a balloon and you're all going to get a piece of yarn. This is going to be your equator. Okay. It'll help you to place the continents because you're going to put continents on it. Look at the picture to see where the continents go, whether or not they're north of the equator or south of the equator, and you're going to label your oceans. Okay. So let me show you a couple different ways that we have here. Now, this one, and yeah, I know there's a hole there. This one we did with paper mache. So if you guys want, I'm giving you the balloon. I'm not giving you the paper mache stuff. What you would need would be flour, water, and newspaper. And while I could give you that stuff, I can't give you the blue paint to make the oceans. But you can print out different continents. Now you see the weird shape that these continents are? Whoops, I'm gonna drop these, sorry. Mostly we had a problem trying to put this on because this was Europe and Asia. And it's connected, right? And I want you to see that it's really hard to try and put a flat piece of paper on a round balloon. So to make it a little bit easier and so that you didn't have to try and cut out all these little things and maybe lose the islands like Japan right here, I'm going to give you, you guys come in, you're going to get your science kit, and we're going to give you a bag with the continents already on there, but they're going to be a lot smaller. So it's not going to be exactly to scale. Okay. We're going to give you round continents. So you just got to cut out circles just to kind of get an approximate idea on where the stuff is going to go. Okay. You're going to get a balloon. I'm going to give you a blue balloon. Okay. Now you may not want to blow it really big. I know some of you guys like to. You might not want to blow it really big because these continents are kind of small. And the bigger you get, it's not really going to be round. So you tie it. Now I got my blue balloon. You're going to get some brown paper. And I'm going to tell you to glue it. And you're going to glue it into kind of like a circle. Okay. Okay, like that. And the reason you're doing that is so that you can put your balloon on there. Okay. So that it doesn't go anywhere. Let's make that. Now I'm going to put this piece up on the top for the north. Okay. I've already got my continents cut out. Now I want you to start with the red string now. The red string has to go around the middle. Now if you want to try and glue it, you can. You might need some help because you're going to have to kind of put a little bit of glue and then push the string down and put a little bit more glue and put the string down. What I've discovered is if you actually put it on your thing, you can tie. I'm going to give it to you long enough that you can tie it around your balloon. Miss Pat here is having problems tying. Okay, so tie it around the balloon. Make sure, whoop, and I've knocked it off my balloon. And the reason we're going to do the equator first is going to be so that we know where to put our continents. Okay. All right, so I have tied. Now that's my invisible equator. Remember, if you're flying over the equator, you're not going to see the equator. It's an invisible line, and all it does is tell us this is north and this is south of the equator. Okay. And then I'm going to find North America because that's where we live. Okay, and that's this one. Okay, this here is Mexico at the bottom. This piece sticking out here, that's Florida. That's how you always recognize it, Florida. And we are north in Virginia. We are north of Florida, so we're on that side. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue. And if you want to, you can take a glue stick. Okay, and I'm going to put it on there. And I'm going to go north of the equator. I do want to make sure I don't put this upside down. So it's going to go that way. Okay, it's going to go north of the equator because the equator is actually going to go through Central America and South America. Okay, and this would be South America. So when I do South America, I know it's going right underneath us. Like I said, these are not going to be exact, okay, like the other one was, because this one here, this one, we had a lot of problems trying to get these things not to touch where they're not supposed to, and trying to cut them out. So now we have North and South America. The next one I'm going to do is going to be Asia. Now Asia is kind of easy because Asia is going to be on the exact opposite of the other end of the world from us. So if this is us, I'm just going to go right here on the other side. All right, see, here's us. And I'm going to go right here. And it's still in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, so here's us and here's Asia. And by the way, I'm going to cut these extra parts of the string so that we have my equator and we're not kind of interfering here. All right. Now the problem will be Europe, because Europe is technically connected to Asia. It is on the other side of the Atlantic. So it's also in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, so there's United States, there's Europe. And then as you want, we also have labels in here for the oceans. So you have to remember that the ocean in between here is going to be the Atlantic. You're going to glue the label here for the Atlantic. Up here towards the north, it'll be Arctic. Over here, this will be the Indian Ocean because it's under Asia. You're going to put Australia down here. And Antarctica is going to be going right smack. If this is my North Pole, Antarctica will go right here on the bottom. Okay, because that's where that is. It's really, really cold. Okay, and you guys will get to make your own kind of globe this way. You'll see some of the water. Now, as you guys read books like Anansi, those are Tales from Africa, you can put a little X on there. You could look on here for what country did all those kids come from that we did. In the summer, we're going to be doing a reading program. It's going to be called Tales and Tales. We're going to be learning about animals from all over the world. Okay. And you could, if you have your globe, you'll be able to mark down, oh, we learned about animals in Africa. We learned about animals in Asia. Or if you go to the zoo, okay, and you guys make a list of what animals you see, you can come home and you can mark it on your globe. So there's all kinds of things you can do with your globe kind of stuff. We'll be doing a book over the summer. Where in the world did you come from? Okay. And it's great. It talks about so this one talks about finding animals in Australia. Okay. And Australia. And then if we turn this, we get to see different animals in Australia. All right. Or Asia, biggest continent, lots of different animals. So again, you guys can use this for all kinds of stuff. We might learn about it again when we do seasons, north and south. Why do we have seasons? Why are our days shorter? So if you have your globe and you hold on to it, okay. And again, if you don't blow it up so much, it won't lose air as fast. Make sure you tie it. Okay. Now, if you don't want to do that, and you, like I said, you guys have the option of doing the paper mache, but I really can't send the paint home, so I kind of can't do that. I'm going to send you guys home with blue, these continents and the string and a blue balloon, okay, and a stand. And you can cut it shorter if you like. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you had fun. And I hope you learned something. Have fun exploring our world because this is our place in space. All right. This is Miss Pat. See you next week.